And I never thought, ever in my wildest dreams, I would be mayor, because I'm in my 80s. I was selected and elected in my first term of office. Well, when people suggested it, I laughed and I said, "You've got to be kidding." And so a proposer put me forward and a seconder, and I was delighted.
I'm the official veteran. David, I know you'll do well because it's in you.
I think David's going to make a fabulous mayor. The representation for the Queen, and it's great that he's doing it on her 90th.
Just got to go with you. Cheers. Lovely mayoress.
Yes.
We're all their family friend, and my wife B absolutely adores this lady, as I do. And she said, and my wife B said, "Why don't you ask Caroline?" I said, "Wow, that's a no-brainer." And Caroline thankfully agreed to do it, which is a big thing, really, because she'll be putting in a lot of time, and she'll be keeping me on the straight and narrow.
I hope so. Very enjoyable year.
Yeah, we are going to.
Use that one, sir, because it leaves your neck open at the back.
Okay.
Where my finger is. These are 100 years old. Jarbots, various varieties. Depends on whether he wears one like he's got on now, or whether he wears one like that. Mace bearer and chauffeur. So today it's the ceremonial mace bearing side of part of my work. And I'll show you the mace very shortly.
Well, I'm nearly 100. Well, minus 20.
Right, Mr. Mayor, like to stand.
But it is almost as old as me when you think about it, isn't it?
I think they've not been able to afford one that joins up.
I know.
Hang on, something's... Oh, okay, yep.
You in? That's it. So we've only got about another 5-6 minutes. We'll be going downstairs. So. So these are the original chains of Reigate and Banstead. Let me sit for myself. And these chains are about 148 years old, worn by the very first mayor in the late 1860s. Mr. Mayor is now mayor number 95.
I'm the mayor's biggest fan.
Chair the full council meetings, each and every one of them through the year, and I get hundreds of events to go to. Opening things, I'm opening a pizza shop in Banstead next week. We get invited to go to AGMs of voluntary organisations. I get to go to schools. A big one which I really love is the Holocaust memorial event. Basically, I go where people would like me to be. They invite me through the council's website. They fill in a form and it goes to the team, the mayoral team, and then I go and do whatever they would like me to do. To him. The Lord heard Elijah's cry, and the boy's life returned to him, and he lived.
The mayor, as I understand it, is someone who holds middle ground between community, politics and state. He serves all people without leaning on any political or religious affiliation.
I loved it. I wanted to have a tear or two at times. Yes.
For civic services, for council meetings I have to work. We're a council that's really proud of its traditions.
Yeah, and it's really nice. Yeah. Really, it's lovely.
Yeah, the council's existed for 150 years, so ceremonial occasions like this are really important.
And we've got a mayor that we're proud of in a place that we're very proud of as well. And it was a charming service. David's just the most brilliant public servant, and he's always gone the extra mile. It was a huge pleasure and an honour for me to propose him as mayor. I just think the support for him wasn't just from Hawley councillors, but from all councillors in the borough, because they've seen his energy, his indefatigability, and everything that he's done. Even here in this churchyard, it was him who single-handedly cut all the grass outside. And in the new churchyard as well. He worked so hard for the community in every way. I think the fact that he is the British Legion's largest fundraiser is a very, very good sign of how well he's going to do for his selected charities in the coming year.
I can't explain it. It's like, it just impresses me every time, you know? It's cool.
And finally, thank you to all for joining me on this very special day. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Today is the first charity fundraising event of my mayoral year. I had this Battle of the Somme commemoration in mind for quite some time, to pay homage, to commemorate and to raise funds for my two charities. Today means a lot because not only am I a Royal British Legion member and have been for a long time. On the 19th of May 1944, my father was killed in action in Italy, one day before the Germans surrendered there. And I was 9 at the time, and it was a struggle, it was difficult to cope with at that age. It left my mum and 2 sisters and me, and my mother struggled through the wartime years, working her socks off to feed us and care for us. And so I wanted to do this to commemorate as much for my father as for all those others that gave their lives during different wars.
Today is a very special day and we're commemorating the start of the Battle of the Somme 100 years ago. We're going to have a short service followed by lunch and some sing-songs. Oh, we've got 83 guests, including our MP, Mr Crispin Blunt, and several mayors from other boroughs. And our mayor, of course, who's the best. It's mine.
Chaplain here who's going to say prayers. We have the buglers from the Red Hill Drum and Bugle Band who are going to play the last Posthumy Valley. Mark Jones, who owns this pub, and he owns the business Time Well Spent, and he's providing food and drink today free of charge. Incredibly generous, and so every penny that we charge and the raffle etc. will all go to charity, which is great. We can't thank him enough for doing this. We served in the same regiment, both in the Royal Military Police, and he's my best friend.
Because we should remember these things and people who gave their lives, so many of them. And I think nowadays we tend to forget with all the hustle and bustle what they actually do.
May we never forget the devastating loss of this battle, the anxiety of the home front, and the sacrifices that were made.
Going down of the sun in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
I joined the Territorial Army as a boy of 16 in 1937. I went to France in 1940 early and was taken prisoner. And I spent 5 years in a German prisoner of war camp. And 3 of us liberated ourselves at the end of the war when everything was in turmoil. And we walked for 3 months until Liberation Day.
Some has nerves.
Where there's big fairs and things like that, and we try to get round to see everybody. Yeah.
It's important.
It is important.
They love meeting the mayor.
My slogan is love your community, so you have to love the people. Come on down. It's an old London bus, and it's going to take us to Reigate and Banstead Town Hall. They're going down the caves which go under the Town Hall, an association with World War II and World War I. There's lots of memorabilia down there, and it's damn cold. So senior citizens I'm taking up to the Mayor's Parlour for tea and coffee. We're going to entertain them there, and then we come back and get on the bus, Route Master, and then we're going to Chipstead Theatre. It's a lovely theatre, and we've got poetry readings, we've got singing, we've got a sparkling reception when we get there, and then we've got things on the stage where we're going to pay homage to all those who gave their lives, and we've got children coming to read poetry, and we've got a lovely singer named Sandra Gaynor who's going to sing some World War I songs for us. And then we're coming here for lunch, and then we've got an after-dinner speaker, Doug Cox, who's an expert on World War I, he's a historian, and he's going to give us a talk about the Battle of the Somme. It's partly my idea. I wanted to commemorate both the first day and the last day, and as you know, we commemorated the first day on the 1st of July, and I wanted to commemorate it on the last day.
Yes, it was used as the council shelter and also an ammunition store.
Glenn's never seen one of these before. It's a Morrison
air raid shelter
shelter.
in your house. Such a resource that nobody knows about, isn't it? What, the caves?
Well, I say I've lived in the area for 40-something years, and I've always known about them, but never been here.
Unless the mayor invites you.
Battle of the Somme was one of the bloodiest of World War I. For 141 days, the British and French armies fought the Germans in a brutal battle. 1916, 332,000 British, French and Commonwealth soldiers went over the top towards the supposedly decimated Germans.
We recall with thanksgiving the loyalty shown to comrades and the bravery of those who overcame their fear.
She's watching by the poplars, connect with the sea rise. She's watching long and waiting.
Sandra does an awful lot of work for the Royal British Legion. So thank you to everybody, thank you for coming today and supporting this brilliant fundraising opportunity. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce an extremely special lady to you all. Eve is a Holocaust survivor who escaped on the Glasgow on the Cllr transport.
You've seen it on television. You come out, you go on your hands and knees, and you start scrubbing the pavement with a nail brush or a toothbrush. That was funny, wasn't it? At 15, it didn't matter very much. But to see some old people dragged out of their houses and forced onto their knees, it's pitiful. There were some people, to be honest, who maybe were ashamed or whatever, across the road, walked on the other side. But there were also the ones that walked right over what you've been scrubbing. Spat, called your names filthy Jew, pig. And the sad thing was, there were some people you had known all your life.
This year's Commonwealth theme is peace building. The theme refers to the values of tolerance and respect and understanding. In uncertain times, the need for the Commonwealth to act as an inclusive network of mutual support and development is as great as ever today as it's ever been. Today we raise our flag, we join together in associating ourselves with a widespread public expression of commitment to the Commonwealth, an appreciation of values it stands for and the opportunities offered to citizens around the world. Thank you.
I'm the Mayor in my mufti, casual clothes, because we have a meeting here today with a small team that's helping me with my project. Caroline and I went as Mayor and Mayoress to the opening. We just realised how important this youth club was to them.
I didn't think I'd get a job, but came here, built on my confidence. I was like, stuff it, let's get a job, let's try and get some sort of experience in what I want to do.
To support youth work as one of the areas that he's identified he wants to help us with, it's incredible, and all young people, we're very fortunate to have as much funded support through David and jumping 30,000 feet from the sky. It's incredible. Yeah, good luck, and we're right behind you.
As I say, it costs £3,500 out of our own money. We're not wealthy. The last jump I did in August, it was filmed, and I made a crash landing. I smashed into the ground. Luckily I was unhurt. So from my wife's point of view, she's saying, what happens if you break your hips or smash your leg? And I said, well, that's down to me not to do that. I train myself now right through to August when I'll do the jump, getting myself ready for it. And I'm hoping to raise £3,000 or £4,000. We have to do our best for young people. So please help me. Please help me.
Please be outstanding for your host, the Worship Hall, the Mayor of Reigate and Banstead.
To celebrate the end of our wonderful year. I said to Caroline a couple of weeks ago, you know, this has been the best year of my life. And Caroline looked at me and paused and she says, yeah, mine too.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I can't believe where that year's gone.
I know.
It's like it was about 3 months ago.
Good evening, Tim.
And Glenn, Caroline's partner. I mean, imagine somebody coming up to you and saying, I want to borrow your wife for the next 12 months. Well, how often are you going to take her? Well, it's going to be every day. Naomi's been incredibly important as a practicing Christian. Naomi conducted my civic service beautifully, and I lost my best mate a few months ago, and Ken. You've met Jeanette, and Naomi took a funeral service, and everybody said to me, what a lovely service. It was such a lovely send-off for Ken, Jeanette and their family. And of course Naomi's been my chaplain for the whole year, and she said prayers before every council meeting and always pitched it just right, always pitched it to the point of what was going on at the time. And, people have loved Naomi's prayers. I'm going to keep in touch. Yeah, so it's been very special having Naomi alongside me as mayor. And of course, when I do my World Record parachute jumps, Naomi prays for a safe landing.
I thought you were going to say she's jumping with you.
What about it? Well, maybe you can do it.
His devoted wife, Bea, who looked after him so well at home. And his very special mayoress, Caroline, who supported him so wonderfully at all his events. They say they had a wonderful year. I'm just surprised they haven't fallen over with exhaustion.
Well, it's all those lovely people we've met. Such wonderful people. Such uplifting people. Many times I felt very humbled by what people are doing in our communities, helping others, particularly those with mental disabilities. It's amazing what people do. So we've got a great time. It's our last moments for